How to start a successful chicken farm. Tips and strategies for beginner. Welcome to Twindex Livestock Help, your number one channel for your livestock updates. If you are new here, kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell. If you are to our returning subscriber, we appreciate you for coming back to check on us. I want to welcome us to the video on the basics of raising chickens. So if you are considering starting your own backyard flock, or you are just interested in learning more about these fascinating birds, then you have come to the right place. Raising chickens can be rewarding and fulfilling experience, but it is important to understand the basics before getting started. In this video, we'll cover everything you need to know to get started with raising chickens, including choosing the right breed, preparing for your chickens, caring for your baby chicks and adult chickens, chicken health and harvesting and processing chickens. Whether you are interested in raising chicken for meat or egg, or you just want to have some feathered friends in your backyard, this video will provide you with the knowledge and tools you need to get started. So let's dive in and learn about the basics of raising chickens. Now, the first step to your production is choosing the right breed, and it is very important and crucial to your success in farming. Different breeds are suited for different purposes, so such as egg production, meat production. Additionally, some breeds are better suited to different climates and some have different temperaments. So you need to ask yourself the question, what do I want to offer? What do I want to sell? Is it egg or the meat? You have to also consider your market as well. Which one is more in demand in my environment? For instance, there are some environments where eggs are very much prevalent. The demand is more prevalent than the meat, and vice versa in some areas as well. So you have to consider that before you go into your production, into the livestock, to poultry farming. First, consider what you want from your chicken. So if you are primarily interested in egg production, you want to choose a breed that is known for laying lots of eggs. Some popular egg laying breeds include, we have the Legons, we have the Rhode Island Reds and Sussex. In Nigeria, we have the Isa Brown, we have the Bovan Nera, we have Nera Black, and so on and so forth. So if you are interested in meat production, you will want to choose a breed that grows quickly and produces a lot of meat. In Nigeria, it is called the broilers. Others are Cornish cross and Plymouth Rock. So we have different broiler breeds in Nigeria as well. We have the Marshall, we have the Cobb, we have the Ross, and then we have Anak Titan, and so on and so forth. These are good set of birds meant for the meat production in Nigeria. So if you're outside Nigeria, you can consider choosing any of these, the Cornish cross and the Plymouth Rock, if you want to go into the meat production. If you live in a hot climate, you want to choose a breed that is heat tolerant. Some breeds that do well in hot weather, they include the naked neck, the Plymouth Rock, and Orpington. So if you live in a cold climate, you want to choose a breed that is cold hardy, such as Rhode Island Red Wyandottes, or Americanos. Now, also want to consider the temperament of your birds. Some breeds are more docile and friendly, while others are more aggressive. So if you have small children or pets, you may want to choose a more docile breed. Some friendly breeds include Buff Orpingtons, Brahmas, and Cockchains. So Brahmas is very much common here in Nigeria as well. So in summary, when choosing the right breed for your backyard flock, consider the purpose, the climate, and temperament. Do your research and choose a breed that best fits your needs and interests you as well. So this will give you a great insights on what actually do you want from your birds preparing for your chickens. Now, after choosing the right breed, you have to prepare for your chicken. How do you prepare for your chickens? Now, I'm going to explain to you practically the way uh, I carry out my own. Now, so when you want to prepare for your chicken, it is very crucial in raising happy and healthy birds. So before bringing them home, you need to create a safe and comfortable living space for your chickens. Here are the important tips that I usually follow when I wanted to start my own production. Now, location. You have to choose your suitable location for your chicken. For instance, you want to produce egg, you want to raise egg laying chickens, then you you don't have to locate it where in a noisy area. Otherwise, you are going to run out of business, because when they are being disturbed by the noise, it lowers their production. It reduces them. It reduces their chances of producing good eggs for you, much eggs. So they will just keep consuming your feed, and then they will not be able to deliver maximally, because there is a fear of uh, uh, the environmental fear around. There are disturbances for them to produce. Then your your chicken coop should be in a place that is protected from elements such as the sun, the rain, the wind, and so on and so forth. Now, it has to be well ventilated as well. They need cross ventilation for maximum production, and then it should be free from drafts. It should be free from drafts. So let me just explain this. For instance, when you want to site your coop or your poultry pen, you have to consider the the direction, the four cardinal points of direction. You understand that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. So when you want to construct your coop or your pen, you have to construct it in a way that it is east west uh, direction, in an east west direction. The reason being that when the sun rises in the east, they will have the west to hide. When the sun sets in the west, they will run back to the east. So if it is against the sun, if it is not north south, then they are going to run away, and that is what is called the drafts. That means there is a kind of disturbance for them. Another tip is a draft occurs when there is a kind of disturbance in an area. When you are raising small chicks, sometimes when there is water spillage in the pen, it makes them to run away from that place where there is a lot of water spillage, they will run away from that side and run to cuddle themselves around the corner. So your pen or your coop should be constructed in a way that it will be free from all these elements and drafts. I hope you understand that. Now, the coop should also be suited in an area that provides plenty of shade and sunlight. Design and build the coop. The size of the coop will depend on the number of chickens you plan to raise. Do you get that? Now, the general rule of thumb is to provide at least 4 square feet of floor space per chicken. 4 square feet of floor space per chicken. Now, for it is a little bit different from for that of broiler, but I would recommend using 0.9 square feet per bed for broiler, and then for the layers you have to use uh 10 square meter 1 square meter per 10 uh 10 chicken, 1 square meter per 10 square chicken. So that's just go by that, so that you're able to have enough space. You'll be able to maximize your space. Now, constructing your coop also depend on the type of poultry that you want to run. Do you want to run it in intensive form, or the extensive form, or the semi-intensive form? Now, let me explain the intensive form. The intensive form is confining them in an area where you'll be taking care of their feeding. The extensive is you just have you provide a shelter for them, and then allow them to move about um, here and there. Though in this form is very dangerous, because you have exposed your birds to theft, and then to environmental diseases. Then the coop should be sturdy and predator proof and easy to clean. So it should be an easy environment. It should be situated in an environment that you can clean them at any time in points that you want to do that. Now, the semi-intensive system is you have a confined environment. You provide they have access to pastures where they can feed upon, but there is a shelter between them. So the difference between that and the extensive form is the fencing. That means the areas that in which you keep your bed is fenced. That is the semi-intensive system. You should also include roosting bars and nesting boxes. So this is for those that want to raise um, their eggs for hatching, and then want to raise chicken for table egg production and or for hatching. So if you want to be breeding, then you have to provide the roosting bars and the next boxes. Now, another thing that you need to provide for them is the clean water. Chicken need access to clean water all the time, at all time. So you can provide water in a bowl, or use a water that is specifically designed for chickens. So this also depends on the level of your automation. Be sure to clean the water regularly to prevent the buildup of bacteria. So cleanliness is very important in raising chicken. You have to also provide nutritious food. Now, for those in Nigeria, I have done a video which you can watch. If you are not even in Nigeria, you can also learn from that as well, and then make research and do it according to your own environment. So the video is linked in the description box below. the best chicken feed. So where I explain the elements that you can find in a good feed. Now, your feed must be nutritious. The food you give to your chickens must be nutritious because they need a balanced diet that includes protein, grains, and vitamins. You can feed your chickens a commercial feed that is specifically formulated for their needs, or you can create your own feed using variety of grain and supplements. So in the next video, I'm going to explain to you how you can formulate your feed. So just drop it in the comments if you're interested in having that. Just drop it in the comments. Please do a video for feed formulation for us, or you can create your own feed. So that's that you are going to learn how to create your own feed by yourself, how to mix the grains and the supplement together. Then you'll be able to mix feed for yourself, um as like a pro. Then another thing you need to provide for your chicken is the beddings. The beddings. It is very important for you to make the beddings for your chickens. So the floor of the coop should be covered with a layer of bedding materials such as straw, wood shavings, or shredded papers. This will help absorb moisture and provide insulation. So it is very dangerous for your birds to have access to the direct cold from the floor, and then the moisture that is coming also from the floor. Then the moisture from their dropping as well needs to be absorbed. So that is the purpose of having this bedding on the floor of your pen or the chicken coop. Another thing is that if you are using the battery cage system, then you may not need bedding in this form. You may not need bedding, so it depends on how you construct your pen. For a beginner, for the backyard poultry producers, then bedding is very very much important to insulate the floor and to absorb moisture from their droppings. Now, another thing that you need to do is provide outdoor space. Outdoor space. Now, chicken need access to outdoor space where they can forage, scratch, and dust bath. So you can provide this space by creating a chicken run or allow your chickens to free range in a fenced area. So this is for the semi-intensive producers. So if you are going fully into the intensive system, then this may not be required. Now, that is all you need to know about the taking preparing for your chickens. So following these steps can create a safe and comfortable living space for your chicken. Remember, a healthy and happy chicken will lay more eggs and be a better companion in the long run. So that is all about that. Now let's continue. Caring for the baby chicks. Caring for baby chicks. How do you take care of your baby chicks? Now, caring for baby chicks is crucial to ensure their survival and healthy development. Here are some things you consider when caring for your baby chicks. So these are the steps that you have to follow in taking care of your chicken, of your baby chicks. The brooder. A brooder is a box or an enclosure that provides warmth and safe environment for your chicks. You can use a cardboard box, plastic container, or any enclosed space. The brooder should be large enough to accommodate your chicken and allow for proper ventilation. So when you are also constructing your coop or your pen, then if you are establishing a very large farm, then you can have a section for brooding separately. That is where you carry out all the brooding stuff. It has to be very much covered, and a little bit of ventilation, and it has to be a place that will keep your chicken warm when even when the weather is cold. Then you need an heat source. So chicks need a warm environment to thrive. So provide the heat source such as heat lamp or heating pad to keep their brooder at a temperature of 95 to 100 degree Fahrenheit. That is the 35 degrees Celsius for the first week, and then decrease temperature by 5 degree Fahrenheit each week until they are fully feathered. So another source that you can use for those in Nigeria is the gas brooder, and then you can use the local charcoal, is either charcoal briquette or ordinary charcoal. The bedding, you know, we mentioned that when you are preparing for your chicken, so it is also important for you to provide bedding, and the bedding must be clean and dry, such as pine shavings or paper towels for your chicks to rest on. Avoid using cedar shavings or other aromatic wood, as they can be harmful to chicks. Now, feeding your baby chicks. Baby chicks need a special diet to support their growth and development. Feed them a chick starter feed which is high in protein, between 18 to 20%, and contains all the necessary vitamins and minerals. Provide fresh water in a shallow dish that is easy for the chicks to drink from. So you can see that in the picture, on the video picture. So the kind um, of drinkers that you can give your chicken with. Then their health as well. Monitor your chicks health daily. So it is very, very important, especially when they are still very young. There are signs in which uh, when the heat is too much, or when the heat is too when it is too cold for them. You should be able to know all these things. Take into the consideration and the parameters in your brooding pen. You have to provide a thermometer in order to monitor all this the temperature, so that you'll be able to see their behavior. Now, if you don't have thermometer, you should be able to uh identify which birds is doing what are they doing at a particular time. So when it is cold, they cuddle up together. You see them, they gather around that heat source in order to provide heat for themselves. When it is too hot, they move away from the heat source, and then they pant for water. And then when there is enough heat, when it is enough, then you see them distributed themselves around the pen, running here and there, and then feeding uh, themselves. They will feed very much well. Now, so this is how to monitor. That's the first thing that you have to monitor. Then you monitor your chicks health daily. Look for the signs of illness such as lethargy, loss of appetite, or respiratory issues. We are going to deal with some of them in this channel, so stay uh, around. So that's why it is important for you to subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell, so that you will be able to know all these things and become a better farmer. Now, provide any necessary treatments or seek veterinary care if needed. So it is very important to have your veterinarian around you. Have their contacts. Let it be someone who can come to your farm at any time, any point in time when you call them. So don't handle the health aspect alone, because it is very dangerous and you can end up losing your chicks. Handling handling your chicks gently and frequently to help them become accustomed to human interaction. This will make it easier to handle them as they grow older. So in handling them, it is very important to handle them with care so that they will be able to uh, be familiar with you and then the as other staff that are taking care of your birds. Now, let us proceed. Having taken care of, know how to take care of your baby chicks, then adult chicks, how do you take care of them as well? Now, this is uh, also an important aspect and crucial in your in pursuit of your purpose in raising these birds. Now, caring for adult chickens is essential to keep them healthy and productive. Here are some things to consider when caring for adult chickens. Feeding. Now, provide a balanced and nutritious diet for your chicken. I've also explained how you get to know the best feed to feed your chicks. This should include a combination of chicken feed, fresh vegetables and fruits, and plenty of clean water. Avoid feeding your chicken spoiled or moldy food. It is very, very dangerous because it will end up giving them a disease that is called aspergillosis. It is a fungal infection that affects both the adults and then it's very much prevalent in the young chicken. So just ensure that spoiled feed is being avoided. Then you have to make sure you give them clean water as you have been doing to the young chicks as well. Now, chicken needs access to clean water and fresh water at all times. So ensure that waters are clean and refilled regularly and they are not contaminated with dirt, debris, or droppings. Now, coop maintenance. Clean the coop regularly to prevent the buildup of droppings. So you have to be packing those droppings so because these droppings can attract pests and cause health problem for your beds. Replace beddings and nesting materials as needed. So once it is required for you to change them, you have to change them. Parasite control. It is very important to clean the environment. Regularly check your chicken for parasites such as mites and lice. So if you detect problem, treat your birds with a poultry approved pesticide or you consult your veterinarian. Then you have to monitor their health as you are as you are monitoring them in when they were young. So observe your chicken daily to watch for any signs of illness, injuries, or unusual behavior. Early detection of health problem can prevent more serious issue down the road. So don't just go to your chicken coop in the morning with the aim of I want to feed my chicken and leave. Don't do that. First thing when you get there is to observe your chicken, look at them. If there is anyone that is showing a sign of lethargy or if he's feeling broody or feeling cold, then you have to observe that and isolate it from the flock. Another thing you have to monitor is their dropping, the color of their droppings. It is very important to monitor them. So if it is not firm, if it is loose, check the color as well. Each color have an indication to the diseases. We're going to also deal with that as time goes on in this channel. So you have to monitor your health. So once you monitor it, there is another adage that says a stitch in time save many, not just 9. So once you don't make a stitch in time, then you can end up losing your flock. So for those that are raising um egg, you have to collect egg on daily basis, so to prevent them from getting dirty or damaged. So check for any abnormalities or oddities in their eggs, such as shell quality or color. So the quality of your shell can also be a pointer to a disease. So also the color. So egg production, provide enough daylight hours for your chicken to maintain their egg production. You can use artificial lighting to supplement natural light during the shorter winter period. Now, it is very expedient that you put on up to 16 hours light for your layers, for your laying birds, so that they will be able to produce maximally. So that is that. So if you want to have maximum production in layers, then you have to give them light for 16 hours, 12 hours in the day, and then 4 hours in the night. And the 4 hours must be the irregular 4 hours. So if you are using 7 to 11 p.m., or you are using 8 to 12 midnight, or you are using 12 midnight to 4 a.m., but it must be a regular one. So by providing a balanced diet, clean water, and a clean and comfortable living environment, you can ensure that your adult chickens stay healthy and productive. Regular monitoring and treatment for parasites and early detection of health issue can prevent more serious problems down the road. So just ensure you uh cognizance take all this into cognizance, so that you have a smooth running of your um poultry business. Keeping your chickens healthy is essential to their well-being and productivity, and that takes us to the chicken health. Here are some tips to help you maintain the health of your chicken. Vaccination. Vaccinating your chickens can help prevent spread of common diseases such as Marek's disease, Newcastle disease, and avian influenza. Consult your veterinarian with Consult with your veterinarian to determine the appropriate vaccination schedule for your flock. So make sure you consult your veterinarians for that. So there are different programs for different set of birds. So depending on the purpose for which you are producing them. Another thing is the biosecurity. Now, implementing biosecurity measures can help you prevent introduction and spread of diseases in this flock. This includes keeping new birds quarantined for a period of time, limiting visitors to your coop, and practicing good hygiene when handling your birds. So these are important form of biosecurity. Anybody that must enter must be disinfected. Everybody that is coming in, whether your staff or yourself, you have to disinfect yourself. Anybody that is coming with a kind of contamination. So you have to decontaminate everybody before they enter into the pen. Now, parasite control also is one of the major things that you have to consider, such as lice, mites, and worms. Regularly check your birds for signs of infestation and treat them with an approved pesticide if necessary. As like I earlier said, you have to consider consulting your veterinarian before you take any step on this as well. Nutritious diet. A balanced diet and nutritious diet is essential for your chicken's health. So provide a diet that is high in protein, vitamins, mineral. Avoid feeding your birds with spoiled or moldy feed. Clean water. Give them access to clean water and then refill their water to prevent buildup of bacteria. Then you have to clean their coop. When their coop is being cleaned, then you have to ensure that you are giving your birds uh, good environment to live. So your coop should be well ventilated. You have to dust it every time so that there will be full air flow that will make your birds to be healthy at all time. Then you have to observe your bird as well. Like I said, very early in the morning, observe them. In the afternoon, observe them. Even in the evening, then also watch their consumption. How are they consuming the food that is being given to them? Is there any reduction or increase? So once that is being considered, then you have a healthy chicken for you. By implementing these practices, you can help ensure that your chicken remain healthy and productive. Consulting with your veterinarian or poultry expert can also provide valuable guidance in maintaining the health of your flocks. Now, harvesting and processing chicken. Harvesting and processing chicken. This is an important step of raising chicken for meat. Here are the basic steps involved. So if you are raising your chicken for meat production, then you have to follow these steps. The slaughter. The first step of processing chicken is to slaughter them. This can be done using a variety of methods such as bleeding, stoning, or cervical dislocation. It is important to ensure that the birds are treated humanely and are properly restrained during the process. Scalding and plucking. Once the birds has been slaughtered, it must be scalded in a hot water to loosen the feather. The birds is then placed in a plucking machine which removes the feather from the body. So if you want to get the feathering machine, the link is in the description box as well. Evisceration. After the birds have been plucked, it must be eviscerated. That is removing the visceral organs, the intestines, the internal organs such as the heart, the lungs, digestive tract. This is typically done by making an incision in the bird's abdominal cavity and carefully removing the organs. Cleaning and chilling. Once the birds have been eviscerated, it must be cleaned and chilled to prevent growth of harmful bacteria. This bird is typically rinsed with cold water and placed in a cooler or refrigerator to chill. So cutting and packaging. After the bird has been chilled, it can be cut into pieces and packaged for sale or storage. So this can be done using a variety of methods such as a sharp knife or a meat saw. This is important to ensure that the meat is properly handled and stored to prevent contamination. Processing chicken can be time-consuming and messy process, and it may be helpful to have some experience or guidance when starting out. Many local agricultural extensions, 4-H programs, or farming organizations offer workshops or resources on poultry processing. So it is important to follow food safety guidelines when handling and processing the poultry to prevent risk. Now, concluding this video, raising chicken can be rewarding and fulfilling experience. So whether you are raising your birds for eggs, meat, or as pets, to ensure health and productivity of your flock, it is important to choose the right breed, provide them with a comfortable living environment, and maintain a good nutrition and hygiene practices. Taking proper care of your chicken requires a time and effort, but it can also be a fun and educational hobby. Remember to consult with veterinarian or poultry experts for guidance and support in maintaining the health of your flocks, and to follow the food safety guidelines when handling and processing your chicken. If this video has helped you in any way, kindly smash the like button, share it with your friend and loved one. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Here is the gifts I have for you in this video. Now, there is a video in the link of this description box, in the description box. The first link in the description box will show you how you can construct your chicken coop. That is the first link in the description. So thank you for watching and have a lovely moment. I wish you a successful poultry farming. God bless you.